the various divisional series, and just before we even get to the Stanley Cup, because I got to get your predictions. I love what you do. Love the blog. Tell the folks the best way of getting in contact with you.
The funniest way is because I write for so many places, the best way is to just my Twitter account, say hello, give me a follow. I will get back to you. You have questions, I will answer you. People think that, because he has 8,000 followers, he's not personable. Heck, it's hockey season. I'll be personable to almost anybody. That really is the best way. I write for Dauber Hockey. I write for Project Roto. I do a little work for NJ.com. I do a little here, a little there, and I can't complain, Ted. I never can.
It's a good life. It's a good life. Chris, we want to give you a one-time round of applause for tonight. Chris, definitely looking for you to come back and joining us in the next upcoming weeks. Thanks so much, okay?
Thank you, Ted. You have a good night.
You too. That was Chris Wassell giving us an update on NHL Playoffs. Really appreciative of tonight's guests. Hour 1 is coming to a close. We want to thank Rosalyn Ross, Dr. Erica Kosal, and Chris Wassell. Hour 2 is coming up shortly. We're about to close out with Back in Black, and we'll be back in the next 2 minutes, all right?
The wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, just instant cash, instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every day? At DraftKings, it's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers and 8 position players, stay under the salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day, just playing fantasy baseball. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER to play for free. You can win part of $300 million in prizes being awarded this season. Use promo code SPREAKER for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
And we are back. Relevance Part 2. This is the real Ted Hicks. Ways to contact us. Twitter.com, Late Night Parent. Real Ted Hicks on Twitter.com. Facebook, Late Night Parents, and LateNightParents.com. And for the tech-savvy folks, LMP.TV. I am Ted Hicks. Happy to join you for Part 2 of Relevance. Thanking all of our main radio partners, UNIR1, iHeartRadio, NGSC Sports, FSC Radio, I-95 Sports Network, IDVIP Radio in Canada. Got to thank Tish Shearer out in the UK. Got to thank our friends out in New Zealand, Cindy Conroy. It's just, we're all over the place, folks. We want to thank you. Tonight, for some folks, this is hour number 2, but this is Relevance Part 2. We're going to have tonight Christine Connelly on at 5 minutes past the hour. Christine has a story that I've been wanting to share for a while. Christine is a transgender parent and daughter, and she's looking to share with us tips for people that have transgender loved ones. 35 minutes past the hour, we're going to have Chris Whalen on, CPA extraordinaire. He's going to talk about what if you didn't file your taxes. At 45 minutes past the hour, we're going to have Lee Val and Todd Vandenberg talking a little baseball, beer, and barbecue. These two folks, my radio partners. I sit here on the Happy Hour Network, the home of Late Night Parents. Happy to be here to host the show. It's a whole bunch of shows that are on this network. We're going to do a quick roll call. Sports District Radio, Full Court Press, NBA Full Court Press. You got the Earnestly Speaking radio show. You got Chronic Kitties, which is yet to come out the gate. We got Baseball, Beer, and Barbecue. We got the Big Orange Show. You name it. We're all over the place. So where do I start? It's Relevance. It's Earth Day. You know, and something I didn't ask guests 2 and 3, what are you doing to make changes? How are you going to make the environment better? With it being Earth Day, what are you doing? Are you recycling? You know, I mean, hey, when I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, I'm not letting the water run. You know, it's little things like that that kind of allow you to make a difference. It is Earth Day. We hope you have done something to make the environment better. You were just excited. We're just excited. We're excited because I believe in the queue is Christine Connelly, who's going to join us. I'm going to bring Christine on. Christine, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hi.
How are you? How are you? Thank you for joining us tonight. Christine, I got to tell you, with being a CPA, an author, the director of Bagley, our nation's oldest and largest youth-led LGBT organization, like I said, I don't know where to start. You are a transgender parent and daughter, and there's so much that we have to cover. I know we have a really tight time limit, but I wanted to say welcome to Late Night Parents.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. You left out that I'm also a Little League batting champion.
I think we're going to get to my first Red Sox.
And you know you can't mess with the little leaguer either. Always in my mind and spirit.
Yes, so important. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, it's what we're all about. You know, I mean, it's about the kids and the youth, the little leaguers of the world. You know, and helping them grow up.
It really is. And Christine, I tell you this much. I was speaking with our PR department, and each week, or I would say a few weeks ago, there was a suicide in Charlotte, and it was a suicide of a transgender teen who felt unsupported by his family. It's one of those things where you are a source to bring that message out, to really to educate us to some of the issues that are happening with you being a transgender parent and daughter. I would like you to just share with us your experience with, you know, family rejection and or alienation. I really just want you to share your story.
Well, I will, and I'll keep it short. And I just want to start off by saying, you know, using a big term, and I'll explain it as I go along. But cognitive dissonance, and what that means is we have an awareness of things that don't match and we can't fit, and we have an image and an idea of ourselves that doesn't match when we look in the mirror or when we interact with other people. And when we keep that boxed inside, that's when the problems start. And what it is about freedom of expression, freedom to be who you are, and that's what it is. That's what transgender rights are about. And that's what human rights are about. They're intertwined. They're one and the same. But being transgender is certainly a unique situation. I mean, I certainly didn't want to be transgender. I didn't check that box. If I even had a chance to check a box to say, I think I'll be transgender, and none of us do. But we have to learn to accept ourselves and live with ourselves. And this is where the intersection happens, where our families don't. In my family, and there's about 40 people, have not accepted me, and they've all said goodbye to me. There's one nephew that I talk to on rare occasions, but other than that, I am completely disconnected from my family, and I've even been told to kill myself. I mean, just the outrageous hatred that's there just because a person's transgender is just unacceptable, and it's only because of this and because I can talk out, and especially with all these suicides, it's important someone like me who's been through it, who's dealing with family alienation. I'm a survivor of an attempted suicide myself several years ago, and somebody needs to speak up to stop this, use. I know they're all frustrated, but there has to be somebody that says, don't do it, and I want to be that person. Don't do it. It's, things will change. I can't say they'll get better, but they will change. What happens today is not going to be what happens tomorrow.
So I've begun to take the time to learn and read about the transgender community. I mean, there's nearly 700,000 transgender individuals in the United States, and that's about 0.3 of the population. So with that being the case, share with me some tips for people that had transgender loved ones.
Well, I just want to address the count, too, because I think it's substantially much lower than it really is. That count refers to those people that are openly recognizing themselves as transgender. And because of the stigma attached to being transgender, I would think in time that percentage is going to grow. I don't know how significantly, but I would not be surprised if there isn't 1 to 3% of the population that's transgender. And there was Lynn Conway years ago did a calculation, and she was a mathematician and an engineer, and she did some calculation based upon the facts that existed then, and she came up with a much higher number. But as far as sharing about, what people should do, I think sometimes a simple touch of kindness, understanding, and acceptance from family and friends can absolutely make a difference of life or death. And the bullying that was taking place and does take place with the young children are amongst themselves, and that has triggered this rash of young transgender suicides is just horrific. That when you think about, and everyone knows that this is what will happen if you do this to a person, but yet it persists. And the adults that are in the control of these young children are not taking an active, aggressive, remedial step or process to stop some of this. And they ignore it, and then when the person kills themselves, they say, "Oh my God, we didn't know," or they feel blindsided. But in fact, the warning signs were there all along.
Understood. Christine, tell me how so you're the director of Bagley. So tell us about your overall involvement with Bagley.
Well, a couple of years ago I was asked to serve, and I couldn't do it right away because I was going through some some of my own changes, and I was dealing with and I needed a few months to just kind of conclude some issues that I was dealing with, and I did, and I joined them, and as a CPA I come in and I try to offer some of my managerial and leadership and also financial knowledge, but what we're trying to do, what the organization is trying to do, and Grace is the executive director, and she's been there about 34 years, I think. And we're celebrating